Hello and welcome to the most stupid idea I've ever had. We're going ice driving in Sweden. Now that doesn't sound that ridiculous. We're doing it in an old 911, a 997 911, my 911. Again, not particularly daft. But you see that box? That's a roof tent. Yeah, we're camping.
This is not a prospect that thrills me. I'm heading into chilly nights, long days, and a whole lot of unpredictable Scandinavian weather. This is risky and tough, with all sorts of places where I can make a hash of it. If the car survives, hopefully I will too. You're probably asking yourself, why on earth am I doing this? Hotels exist, and clever people put central heating in them, so why camp? It's a mix of reasons. On the one hand, it's a cost thing. The 911 chewed through the life savings, so any budget I can save counts as a win. On the other, it's as simple as testing myself in the car, pushing myself to do something I've never tried before. I've told loads of pals about this idea, and they all, to a person, got jealous about the lake and also thought I was insane to camp. If I can prove them wrong and enjoy this, I'll count that as a win. Part of me wants it to be ultra cold. Just how low can we go? And of course, we need it freezing to make ice on the lake. And then the other part wants it to be more Costa del Sweden.
So this is it. 1,500 miles ahead of us. We're on the French motorway now. We've got 2 and a bit days to get there. There's going to be ice, snow, rain, hopefully a bit of sun. I'm nervous and excited. I think there's a few things going on in my head. One is I've got my own car on an ice lake. There's also the nervousness about camping in those sorts of temperatures. I mean, I think it's about -15 out there at the moment, which is cold. We've got all the gear, the trunk's full, I've got a sleeping bag for myself and then another one to go over the top of me. I've got thermal underwear. I hope I'm as prepared as I can be, but you just never know. I've never camped in temperatures that low before, so I just don't know. Apparently condensation is a big issue. We're just going to have to find out. I was talking to a mate the other day and he said, hang a micro towel above your face because all the condensation on the inside of the tent will drip onto it and not your face and keep you awake in the evening. So that's the sort of thing that's going through your head.
As I mentioned, this is my trusty steed. Porsche reliability should be okay, fingers crossed, but the conditions will test both it and my driving skills. The 911 is completely stock, a 997 Carrera 4S first gen. There's nothing especially unique or stand out on it, no GT3 Metzger engine dropped in for kicks, but that's why I like it, a 911 to sort of fly under the radar. It has a 3.8 litre engine and produces 350 brake horsepower and 295 pounds-feet of torque. Numbers that any EV would laugh at, but then no electric car has that glorious flat six. This is the naturally aspirated one, so no pesky turbos getting in the way of the burble from back there. What you hear is all genuine, actual sound. Mileage? Remarkably, it's only done 18,000 miles since new. What on earth am I doing putting over 3,000 miles on the thing in a week? Last minute checks. The oil is good, the antifreeze is rated down to -47 degrees C. Winter ready Pirelli Sotto Zero 2 tyres. So all that's left is to make sure I'm up to it.
I've done ice driving before, but every time I have, I've always had a little bit of an accident, so that's slightly frightening me at the moment. But it's an adventure, isn't it? I mean, we're going to see what happens. I kind of don't know what this is going to bring, and that's what's exciting about it. But all good adventures need mates, and so the car behind me is a Macan EV, and that's got the photographer in it, Olden Caudle, who is a man of rare genius when it comes to photography, but he didn't know he was also camping. See what happens.
Our first days in mainland Europe were all about making progress. Massive miles, minimal interest. While Olden gets over the shock of his somewhat less luxurious trip, we do need to charge his Macan, and for that I've managed to find him a little slice of charging luxury, if that's not too much of an oxymoron. We've come to a Porsche charging lounge.
There's several of them over Europe now. We're about to get one in the UK, and as you can see, 4 bays, not sure what speed they offer, but all wide, plenty of room, nice and clean, very Germanic as you'd expect. But the really good bit is this pod on the side which if you scan your card there we go, is going to open itself up. And then you get some nice music, warmth, drinks, coffees, snack machine, lavatory, should it be so required. You can even charge your phone up in here, so it's just a nice place to spend some time, I guess, while you're waiting for your car to juice. That isn't an electric car, as you can imagine, but I think it's a really good idea. You can see the likes of Bentley, maybe even Rolls-Royce, some of these guys offering these places because they're going to give their customers a bit more of an exclusive feel to their charging. And I think that's going to be the reason that'll separate them from everyone else.
Overall, I think it's a pretty interesting idea. Will it catch on? Is it elitist? Has Porsche made the right move by creating charging stations, or should EV charging be standardised like petrol stations? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Refreshed and back on the motorway grind, we've finally rolled into Sweden. First though, we need to survive our first night under canvas.
So, we've set everything up. I just thought I'd do a bit of a walk around and show you. Welcome to our crib. I don't know what the temperature is. It was -5 when we got here.
It's -5 now. -5.
It might have dropped another couple of degrees. -6, -7 maybe. So, anyway, the tents are up. We've got some sleeping bags down. I'll show you. Welcome to our crib, as it were. Hang on. There you go. There's the 911 in all its glory. There's Olgan, trying to figure stuff out. Hello. There's Chris as well, he's helped. That's the Macan. And then I'll just show you. So, ladders. That's the Thule one. And that is the Porsche one. Let's go up in. This is where Olgan is sleeping. And as you can see, he's got a little night light for himself. God, it's freezing cold. So it's pretty big space in here. But these things, silver foil, absolutely vital. And also, weird as it sounds, a couple of vents open at the top to get some air in, because otherwise condensation is your enemy. Look, he's even got a little pillow. Across to mine. Hang on, wait, don't fall down. Right. So, as I say, we've got 2 vents open in here. It's really spacious, but my God, it's cold. Again, these silver foil mattresses, really helpful. Actually, if you lie on those in your clothes, it's not that cold. It's amazing how much heat you reflect back into yourself. So we need to get sleeping bags out. They're good for -11. So hopefully it'll be okay. We'll see how we get on. I'll see you in the morning. Morning. Well, we're alive. We survived. I have no idea what temperature it got down to overnight. Felt pretty cold in the tent, but I just thought I'd give you a quick demo because kit is key. And actually, what was amazing last night was how much this stuff really worked. So this is from Vango, which helps reflect all the heat, and you could tell as soon as you dropped off it, your feet got cold, so it made a huge difference. And then this is a Sea to Summit Trek sleeping bag. Again, actually, once you're in it, really toasty, amazing. Also got this, I'll show you, which is a pillow. And I actually found that a bit useless. Didn't really get on with that at all. I think I won't bother with that tonight. And another lesson for tonight was try and wrap this hood over the top a bit more, because my shoulders got cold last night. But oh my God, overall, oh, hang on, coming down. Yeah, really impressive. Tent stayed dry inside because we've got some ventilation going with these little roof vents hidden up above there, and it worked.
Now it was time for Sweden proper. Most of the motorways were mercifully behind us so we could get into the local countryside more, with a chance to see some real-life Swedes as children walked to school in the sub-zero temperatures. Unsurprisingly, Sweden is not one of those places that grinds to a halt with a bit of snow. From our overnight camping stop in Gränna next to Jönköping Lake, apologies for the pronunciation, The roads are covered in snow and ice, and yet there is no panic. No cars littering the dikes where last night's supermarket run ended upside down in a snowdrift. The country simply carries on. Cars become ever rarer and the forests start to encroach closer to the road as we continue to head north. The temperature gauge on the 911 drops down to -7. Please let it be cold enough for ice.
So we're getting close, and the reason I know we're getting close to Ice Drive Sweden is because the roads are getting much smaller. As you can see, there's nowhere near the level of clearance on them. So this is a layer of ice and then snow on the top. And we're doing 40 miles an hour. Now, I'm not saying that to be trying to be gung-ho, because these tyres on this 911 are incredible. I've just done a couple of brake tests, basically, just to see what you can feel. The grip that you're getting from them, I say this now, hopefully, is incredible. It's really, really controlled. And they glide to a halt. There's no ABS kicking in. It's really, really impressive. I'm thoroughly enjoying this drive. Apart from anything else, look at the scenery.
If you want to drink in these vistas even more and see Olgun's photos in their full glory, head to Car Magazine. Subscriptions are also available. I'm being paid to tell you this.
All these trees, all this snow. It's currently -7, so it's getting cold.
And just as the roads started to feel like they were leading to something exciting, we got a phone call that pulled us up short.
Slight disaster. We have just been told by the ice lake that the conditions aren't great. Basically, it's been too warm recently. They've had to get a tractor onto the lake, obviously, and plough the circuit, and they haven't been able to do that. So we're heading north. We're just going to get there and see what happens when we get there. We'll have to see.
It's not easy lining yourself up for a fresh night of camping when the whole point of the trip, driving on actual ice, could potentially be pulled from under our feet. What's worse, Olgun and Chris have decided to pay me back for not telling them about the camping and have booked themselves into an Airbnb for the night, leaving me tenting on my own. But don't worry, they generously waved me off.
Do you need to say anything?
Well, I think you should just say good night to me and wish me luck.
Good night, Piers.
Night, Piers. Thanks very much, guys.
Good luck.
That's what awaits. Brilliant.
Morning, day 2 has dawned of camping. Yeah. I think we saw -11 last night. It's pretty cold, but this sleeping bag is amazing. It works a lot better with this hood that you can see. My shoulders didn't get as cold, so I feel like I got a better night's sleep actually, weirdly, although I could definitely do with a normal bed. Apparently there are wolverines in this wood, but luckily no overnight visits, so that was good. It's 6 a.m. now. Got to get the camp down and then get on and go ice driving.
The extremes start to feel normal. What would have felt bizarre a week ago, waking up with the larks or wolverines, dusting layers of frost off the car/tent/toothbrush, trying to get dressed while lying down, all starts to become part of the daily routine. Time to go and see a frozen-ish lake. So, we've got down to the lake and unfortunately, it's not frozen enough. Too much snow, blanketed it, didn't let the ice form. But it is one heck of a lake. It's massive. There are so many circuits that you could go around if the weather had played ball. Unfortunately, it hasn't, so we are where we are. But Ice Drive Sweden have very kindly said we're going to have a bit of instruction on this ice. So hang on, I'll just do this, because then we are actually walking on the lake. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm just gutted that we can't play all the way out there. Especially when you see some of the machinery they've got out here. Look at all this! F-Type, not the police's BMW. Imprezas, of course. 1 Series, Aston Vantage peeking out, and this little devil, the GR Yaris.
The left foot braking is obviously really, really key.
This is George, and he's about to teach me how to drive my own car on ice. Proper speed that would, given how fine the margins for error are. Bit of a snowbank there.
drop off as well. It's a bit of a compression. Thank God for that extra splitter that's on the front. Thank you very much. What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
Hopefully he'll be gentler on me and the 911. My sensible brain is reminding me it's my car and we have a 1,500-mile drive home ahead of us. Here goes nothing.
The key thing with being in your 911 is that obviously we're on winter tyres. We'd usually run with different forms of studded tyres, so mechanical grip is quite low. So we need to, ideally, because it's four-wheel drive, get it into the slide early. If it was something rear-wheel drive, we could turn in as you would, give it a boot of power, and it would get us out sideways. But because the front wheels are pulling themselves forward, we've got to do a slightly different technique. But we'll have a bit of a play, and we'll see what we can get.
Okay. So you've already done a bit with the car today.
Yeah.
Were you in sport or what?
I popped it into sport.
Okay.
To be honest, I didn't play around with it out of sport, so
Yeah.
we'll stick with it.
Yeah.
Get second nice and early. So build her up. Get second gear now. Go a little later before we turn up. Just keep it building. Lift now. Lift, turn. Now power. Remember that lock. So start to unwind now. Straight.
I don't think I got the coordination of the lift, the steering and the power correct on that one.
A gentle start. Time to up the loud pedal.
Imagine we want to be heading over to the right.
Yeah.
Adding the throttle as we go left.
Yeah.
But fairly aggressively, so we'll have a go again. Start it on the right, up to second, a little bit of throttle. We'll just get her left first because we've got a rut there. So on the right, turning, give her a bit of stab of power now. Perfect, and then let her come around and a bit of brakes. So, there we go.
Oh, you idiot, Piers. We can't end this in a snowbank. Time for another go.
I think I'd much rather be in one of your cars doing this. I never feel like I'm anticipating it. I always feel like I'm behind it.
Okay, you're working it harder. You're trying to do more by setting it up early. But if you have a bit of throttle going left, slightly more aggressive as we come on the lock, then all you really need to do is to give it one large flick to the right. Car's unsettled then, and we've got more space because we're not sliding towards the exit, the corner where sort of the bank is. So we'll go again. So build your throttle, second gear, keeping it building to the left. And then lift right, now power, good, a bit more throttle, now keep the power, and straight.
Oh, that was better.
That's nice.
Yeah. I thought we were going to have another crash then, but I kept the power in, so thank God for that.
And release. But before we go home, we need one last moment to enjoy the snow.
So this is it. We're driving down a rally stage at the end of what's been one heck of an adventure. And I've been so proud of this little car. I'm gutted that we didn't get to spend any time on the lake. I mean, we did a little bit, but not much. Not properly. It's no one's fault. It's definitely not Ice Drive Sweden's fault. This 911 has been the ultimate everyday sports car, and I think that's probably the highest accolade you could pay it.
The question is, would I do it again? Give me some time to rest, maybe? The downside is that I can't help shaking the feeling of disappointment that flat-out driving on the ice lake wasn't possible. It's a long way to go to not achieve that goal. But we camped, we drove on frozen roads, we got to experience an entirely new country at its most extreme. I'd count that as a victory. Adventure boxes and endurance boxes got ticked. And I've still got an intact 911, sort of. I'm not quite sure what all those miles have done to the car's value, and we have experienced some minor spark plug issues since we got back. But the C4S has only gone up in my estimation. My keeper of a car has become even more of a keeper, and the sense of joy will live long in the memory bank. Take the win, Piers.